Welcome to another Founder Wisdom Pod. We have Lee Barkalow with us today. He's a CEO and co-founder at CurEnt Group, founding partner at Nova as well. Down or up, depending where you view it in LA. Yeah, Lee, I'm glad to have you on the podcast. Tell us a bit more about yourself and what you're up to.
Cool. Thanks, Charles. Appreciate you having me. Yeah, as you mentioned, CEO, co-founder of CurEnt Group, also Nova, but I think we're here just mostly in CurEnt Group at the moment. Yeah, our company. So this will be my second company started in this world. We're very niche. I think the experiential market has really exploded in the last 2 or 3 years, and that's really where we focus on. So we've been doing it for about 10 years now. We are in LA and offices in London in the UK, really specializing in access to events around the world, whether it's just going to, if you want to go to a Lakers game or a soccer game and you just want to go to be there, or you want to go backstage and meet the artist or have a private lesson with Messi, or really whatever the bucket list experience is globally. So in a nutshell, that is what we do.
And your ICP, is it ultra high net worth type of people? I mean, like to practice with Messi, that must be at least six figures, right?
Yeah, I would say our typical clientele is high net worth to ultra high net worth, and then also working with, Fortune 500 to 100 companies on the corporate level. So all of those would be definitely our clientele.
And why start stuff in that niche? Did you had a personal interest yourself in tailored exclusive experiences, or?
Yeah, so I came out of the music touring world, so the agency side. It quickly became apparent that that world of access was really traded on favors. The entertainment world is you scratch my back, I scratch your back scenario, but that's really available to, I mean, 0.01% of the world has access to that. However, 99% of the world has their eyes on it and they want to be part of it. So when I left the agency world, I left with a lot of relationships, saw that this had an opportunity that hadn't really been tapped into yet, found, a safe way to find clients and put them into positions where they can maybe meet artists or have that little bit of like an elevated experience that really took off. And then having 99% of the world as a clientele pool is a pretty solid place to start. So that was kind of how we went into it. There's a need for it, and right time, right place.
Right. And what percent of your clientele is direct consumers vs enterprises or corporate?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're probably around a 75% B2B to 25% B2C. We're making a big push to level that out as much as possible and or flip it. So we have more direct connections for the clientele. You can probably assume getting in touch with that ultra high net worth is not as easy as just picking up a phone. You have to be referred, you have to be part of those circles. You either have to do a good job and then you get that organic introduction, or you don't get a good job and the door gets shut on you pretty fast. So we're not a monthly subscription. You don't have to pay a membership. It's either you like the service that we give you, or you don't really use us again. So it keeps us on our toes.
And what's your price point? Do you take a percentage of the connected experience? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, look, with any company, there's money that needs to be made. We have our cost. It's not rocket science. We have our costs. We have a commission that we put on there, which is usually the industry standard of 10 to 15%, and then that is our cost to our clients. Now, the big difference between what we do and probably a lot of other industry companies out there that are offering different services is we specialize in being direct to access point. So that meaning, if somebody wants to do an experience or meet an artist, we have that direct relationship most of the time. I like to say we're one or two phone calls away from pretty much everybody. Our price point will reflect that. There aren't like 10 layers in between us and the talent or even the consumer. So we make a big effort of really having like one layer.
So give me an example, right? Like Safari with Bear Grylls, I'd buy that. What's the price tag? Like 50, 100K? And then what do I pay you?
Yeah. Look, it depends. There's going to be depends on what it is that you're looking to do, when you're looking to do, when you come to us. These are all factors that affect price point. But let's just say best case scenario, you give us plenty of time. Bear Grylls is most importantly available and willing to do it. Depends on where you're going to go, what you want to do exactly. So these are all like different if you want to go and you want to do the thing where you hop out of a helicopter with Bear Grylls and swim to an island and survive on an island with him for a week. Like, there's the difference in cost is going to be varied versus I just want to go to the mountains with him and, spend a week there surviving, etc. But yeah, it would likely be a mid 5 figures to low 6 figure investment to do something like that. You have to remember, these individuals, as wonderful as they are, they have commitments elsewhere that you're pulling them away from to then do that with you. So as long as people, and I think people are really realizing that more and more. In the beginning, when we first went into this industry, it was a bit of a shock to people that the cost points were so high. But I think people are starting to understand, there's a cost point to steer somebody away from another commitment to focus fully on you for whatever that period of time is.
Yeah, it's like Bear Grylls must calculate his days at least, I don't know, 10K per day, if not more, right? And if he's absent for like 3 days, that's at least 30K.
Mhm.
I think it's like I mean, I think he loves doing these things as well, right? And you obviously pay. Do I have to pay for the safari as well, or is like all included?
Again, it's dependent on what it is, but we usually try to bundle it in, so it's just an easy, here you go, no problem, one price for the whole thing. But again, we try to make each experience a bit of a fingerprint, so they're not all two the same. So what might really be something interesting to you might not have been the thing that the previous client wanted. So it just depends. And we have our team is, they're super qualified in how they work through you with that process. We've got a very specific list of questions that we ask that gets us to that point where we go, okay, we know what you're looking for and how to put it together for you. So that, the process is as easy as possible.
Some of your clients, they just have like unlimited budget because I buy a bunch of things. I mean, not for now, maybe the Belgrade things, but I definitely want to play tennis with Nadal, and I don't know, learn how to drive F1 with the driver as well. So, do some of your clients just like pull the trigger on you all the time and they just don't have any bottom when it comes to budget?
Yeah, some do. Some people are lucky enough to be able to do that. Absolutely. Other people use this for like that once a year bucket list experience. That's like the really major one, and then they use us for a lot of like just the regular access throughout the year where it's a little less pie in the sky experience. Other people are doing those type of experiences monthly. It just depends how lucky you are to be able to do that for sure. But it varies. Definitely a pendulum swing.
Give me a couple of years and I'll be that type of client ordering one per week. What kind of bucket experience have you done? Tell me about that.
Sorry, what was the question?
What have you done yourself in terms of bucket experience? Give me some of the type of incredible stuff you've done yourself.
Oh man. So I'm a huge tennis fan. So for me, my bucket list experiences have always sort of like revolved around the tennis world. So meeting and participating in events with, I can't say his name, but if I say the GOAT of tennis, I think a lot of people start to kind of figure out who that is.
That's my
Um,
man
so
Federer.
so, doing a really great experience with him, that for me was amazing in a really private, intimate setting.
He's a cool guy, also, right? He's like very level headed. I read his book and sounds like just a chill dude to hang out with.
Yeah, if it were him who I'm describing, you're
If
absolutely correct. He's a very chill guy. Yeah, so something like that, or going on center court at Wimbledon and having that experience where why would you be down there unless you are one of the greater players in the world competing on the stage today? So for me, having that experience to be able to do stuff like that was amazing. Also, I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, so we participate a lot with like the Red Bull Extreme sports guys. So doing stuff like there's one of four helicopter pilots in the world that have the ability to do like barrel rolls and the flips.
Oh my
So being
God.
able to, I haven't done it personally, but we were there on the ground witnessing him do it. It was pretty epic. We had a client that went up and did it with them. That was pretty amazing just to watch that unfold. So yeah, those were top of mind ones that were pretty amazing.
I'm also checking on your LinkedIn. You do like these dinners, right? Like, are you just good at tailoring what's your lowest energy spend vs the highest outcome in terms of organizing events? Like, how do you spend your weekends? Just like organizing an exclusive dinner at a really good place with really good people?
Yeah, we can totally do that. And we have done that. Yeah, absolutely. Again, the nice thing, the challenging thing about what we do, but also the nice thing is not everything is the same. This is not a click and buy. That like we can do things at scale to an extent, but there's a reason why people come and use us. There's a reason why the price point is what it is because everything is so tailored to the person's desires. Now we can start at a similar starting place, like say for example tennis and Wimbledon or whatever it is. And then like that's a similar common interest from a lot of people. But then from there it starts to become individualized. So if you're referencing like the food experience, yeah, we've certainly done these experiences where we get we're putting together an event where we invite our really discerning clients and maybe some tastemakers that we work with and putting them in the same room where it's an experience for them, where the food is amazing, the chef is amazing. It's just from start to finish, a really cool networking event that we're doing. We're trying to do more of those. But in the food world, yeah. So it really depends on again what the interest is, and then we can really tailor it out.
Because environment is one, right? But how do you tailor like top people to have meaningful conversations with one another? Because the TLDR versions, you just put a bunch of high performance, high IQ, EQ people in the same room, and magic happens almost by itself in the right environment,
Yeah.
right? How do you tailor all these people?
So, if we're gonna do an event where we're inviting people, we're gonna be really specific about who we're inviting. People that we know will either gel in some capacity or have similar commonalities. Sometimes we do something where it's so hyper different too. That's also a really great angle where it's an interesting. Most of the people that we're inviting, these are interesting people that have curiosity for intelligence, or they're just curious people just in general. The people that want to do these experiences tend to have a taste for new things. To be totally honest with you, we've really never had a challenge in that world. People tend to do what they do, and they have conversations. And of course, we make introductions, and we bring people in that are interesting people to kind of spark the conversations along. And if we feel the need to kick it into high gear, we will. But I think we've been lucky enough where that hasn't really been something that we've needed to do.
Right. Hmm. You said you come from a music background, right? Like there was a Super Bowl not so long ago. Is that like one kind of event in which can get me like very exclusive seats? And I don't know, like have me on the field with like whoever wins the Super Bowl. Have you looked into that?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We've done that. That's definitely been the thing that we've done. We've even gone as far as having, a client of ours meet up with one of the day before the Super Bowl, meet up with one of the quarterbacks and toss the ball around with him and his son. So like that was pretty cool for them. Just the experience, just in general, being able to be in that dome before the big game was a pretty cool experience. Yeah, then they went and saw the game. They were on the field afterwards to enjoy, the festivities of that. Thankfully, their team won. So yeah, I would say like we've definitely done that. That's a pretty cool experience too.
Random question: as a guy that traveled the world and that spends most of his time is in LA, what do you love and hate about LA?
That's a great question. I certainly have a love hate with
I
the
love the
city.
laugh there.
No, I mean it's a city that everyone is like can't wait to get away from, but you can't get away from because it's so wonderful. So it's a give and take city. It's I don't know. The creativity in LA is amazing. I mean, during COVID, we left for about a year. My wife and I moved up to Carmel for a year, and that was, I mean, great place to escape to. But quiet, beautiful. But then the second I got back to LA, it was just like, oh my gosh, the energy here is unmatched. The creativity here, people just want to sit and talk and ideate and figure out what's next. How can we improve this or that? And it's really hard to find that in other cities. It's a super creative city. Obviously, the weather's beautiful, so and the food scene is great. And this is where our HQ is. There's a reason for that. This is where entertainment stems from. If you don't have or like a relationship or connection here to LA, I think you're already behind the eight ball, in our industry at least. And yeah, so I mean, it's a necessary location for us to say the least.
Um, I'm in Oaxaca, Mexico. There's like zero things happening on the business side of things here, even if it would be mezcal, right? Like,
Hmm.
but I do so many meetings behind this screen. I'm so connected already and have so many nodes that I'm not sure if like physical would actually be useful for me. I'm trying to do a bit more of that. I'm having a daughter soon, so I can't travel too much. But I feel if I would be in LA or especially New York, right, I would just be way too much stress. I hate the noise and yeah, just all these people around and yeah, somewhat sometimes even comparing myself to people that just don't tell the truth, right? Like, don't you feel LA is a bit stressful at that level? How do you manage that?
Yeah, it's stressful. It's definitely look. I think with any industry, any location, you have to navigate it to what fits your standards of operating. I think that we've done a really great job at that. We have a really high standard of how our company operates. I think the thing that sets us apart from a lot of the people that work in this industry is are the standards that we are committed to. It's not an option how we operate. We've spent considerable amount of time and money finding out who the good players are. Um, and I think that's where a lot of people enter into this industry, either as a consumer or a supplier, thinking that, hey, like this is great. Like maybe it's easy money, maybe it's not. I don't really know, but it seems fun. I would like to try it, as a supply side, or as a consumer, people get tricked into buying things from, I don't want to say like nefarious people because there's a lot of great people out there, but I think sometimes they just like they bite off more than they can chew. And we have spent a ton of time finding the good players in this industry, the people that are solid, the people that follow through, do what they're going to say, they do what they say they're going to do. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen or read the book The Secret, where you put in your 10,000 hours to become that expert. We've put in our 20,000 plus hours. Like we're very good at what we do. We know I know how to smell out something that doesn't feel right away. And so that's a big reason why our clients come to us, is that reliability, the accountability. Our communication is on par. I think our customer service is unmatched. You ask a question, you get an answer immediately. There isn't this lull of where did they go after I just paid this company X amount of money? Where are they? That happens a lot in this industry, which is too bad, but like that is something that we pride ourselves on. That is, we hold ourselves to a very high standard.
Yeah, that'd be crazy for me to drop six figures on someone and not to receive like concierge type of service, right? Especially
Yeah.
as a high net worth person, you want the experience starts even before the payment is
Mhm.
sent, right? How about your go to market, your sales? How do you run that? Because you want to stay exclusive, but at the same time, you want to grow your network as fast as possible because that client may be a node and may refer you that others. So how do you manage that?
We're very specific about where we insert ourselves. So we are not by any stretch of the imagination a spray and pray when it comes to our marketing. We're extremely targeted. The events that we associate ourselves with are diligently sorted through. So it's not how many conventions can we go to meet the most amount of people. That's not our objective. It really is how to, like, which are the ones, let's choose two this year. If it's like it's a convention or an event or whatever. And these are going to be the ones that we really lean into, and we're going to walk away with 20 new relationships, and that's it. And it doesn't need to be, we got 500 new business cards, and now we have to like siphon through who's a good client, who's a good relationship. It's extremely filtered. That, and we're really like, I think we're very lucky. I'm lucky to have a great co-founder with me that he's massively connected, and he knows the places to be. He just knows the right people. They make the introductions, and it's a big word of mouth. Our pool of clientele and relationships is small. It's very tight, and for good reason. And I think that's a big reason why people choose us over, the small group of competitors that we have.
Where do you want to take this company, and what would your ideal life look like? You work with these high network people. Do you want to be like them? Because a lot of them are just super stressed and not super happy. What does your ideal life look like?
Yeah, I mean, look, I like what I do. It's fun. Every day is it's a new adventure, really. It's never really the same thing twice a day. We're not selling, a tech product, which is the exact same phone call every single day. So I enjoy it. What does my life look like? Sure. I mean, I don't think anybody would say no to making a lot of money. Sure, love to do that, of course. I like my work-life balance, though. I know that I feel like that's an overstated thing to say, but I have two wonderful daughters. I have a wonderful wife. I like my family. I like having the ability to spend time with them as well. So my big thing is, how do I create a company, that allows me to have both of those to an extent. Now, I understand being a founder of a company pulls me in directions that, I may not have the luxury of spending X amount of time every summer with my family, but I do it for the long term. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would say like that's we surround ourselves within our company with people that have similar mindset too. So it becomes a common theme in our company that we do a really good job at what we do, so that we don't have problems. We see a lot of people in our industry making sales with things that they can't back up, and it just creates this immense amount of stress that follows. So we pride. I will tell you, our company would never pull someone down a road that we can't 100% fulfill on. So I think that keeps our stress levels down, and it keeps the deliverables at 100%.
Nice. What are your priorities this year and your goals?
Priorities this year. So we launched our London office last year. That's doing great. We got a solid group of guys out there and girls, and it's really just getting them really established in the European market. Once we get that fully invested in the European market, it's kind of putting our eyes on what's next. So what's next is expansion either into the Asian market or the Middle Eastern market. I think that's something that we really have our eyes set on. A couple of other big projects that we're working on that we can't talk about quite yet, but there's some stuff working on underneath the water. But it's it's not about necessarily being the biggest company out there that does this. We want reputationally to be known as the best. And I know that a lot of people say that we want to be the best, the best. Of course, everybody does, but it's, how do we have a company that is in total 50 people and under, and we are producing the most epic experiences that people can buy. And it's not only that, but they trust the second that they give us their money, like, it's good. We're good. There isn't a thought in their mind that something could go wrong. I can tell you that that is definitely a thought that people have in this industry, because there are a lot of people that pull them in the wrong direction. But as long as we can keep that as our North Star, that for me, I think organically we'll just grow with that. People,
There you go. Well, Lee,
yeah.
thanks for being on today. Where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, they go to our website, currentgroup.com, spelled like it is in my header here. It'll give you all the information about our company, and it'll give you a call to action to get in touch with us. And one of our guys will get in
There you go.
contact
So
with you.
it's Lee
Yeah.
and Charles for